Hello everyone, my name is Brayden. This is Airless Quill 9, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the quarrelsome two-headed giant called the Ettin. So, Ettins are these physically powerful giants with two heads. This is their most distinct feature. While many Ettins have features similar to hill giants, others have more bestial or unusual traits such as tusks, short horns, or a single eye on each head. Ettins frequently ally with other giants or groups that value their strength, such as hill giants, bandits, or ogres. Some Ettins possess mystical ties to the lands they inhabit, and they might know or secretly guard secrets valued by druids or fae. The interesting thing about Ettins, though, is that each Ettin head has a distinct personality. While this makes some Ettins quarrelsome with themselves, and others, many function as a team. An Ettin head might have its own name, or both heads might refer to themselves as a single being, either with one name or a portmanteau of two. We are actually given a table to roll on in the 2024 Monster Manual called the Ettin Interactions Table, and this is to help inspire how an Ettin's heads are interacting with each other when the creature is encountered. So this is a 1d8 table, and you can see here that the Ettin heads may be amping up one another in preparation for a conflict or challenge, arguing over plans for battle, dinner, or how to spend the day, criticizing one another as they perform separate tasks, engaging in a staring contest, which is quite funny, making polite small talk as if they were meeting for the first time, performatively ignoring one another, talking over an increasingly convoluted plot, or trying to keep one another awake. So yeah, this is the funny thing about Ettins, is the fact that they just have two heads that have seemingly separate personalities and can interact independently of each other. And that just makes them kind of fun. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Ettin stat block in 2024. So the Ettin is a large giant. It is chaotic evil. They have an armor class of 12, an initiative of -1. They have 85 hit points, a speed of 40 feet. For their ability scores, they have a strength of 21, a dexterity of 8, a constitution of 17, an intelligence of 6, a wisdom of 10, and a charisma of 8. For their skills, they do have a perception of +4, which makes sense. They are expertised, or sorry, not expertised. They are expertised, actually. So that is quite nice, because they have double the heads. They have immunities of blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, stunned, and unconscious. For their gear, they do have a battle axe and a morning star. Senses, they have dark vision of 60 feet and a passive perception of 14. Languages, they know giant. And for their challenge rating, they are a challenge rating 4, which gives them 1100 experience points and a proficiency bonus of +2. Ettins have some actions available to them. This is the only interesting things in their particular stat block, but this is what they do best. First off, they have a multi-attack, which allows them to make one battle axe attack and one morning star attack. The battle axe does a melee attack roll with a +7 to hit and a reach of 5 feet. On a hit, it deals 2d8 +5 slashing damage, and if the target is a large or smaller creature, it has the prone condition. The morning star is very similar with a +7 hit and a reach of 5 feet, however, it does 2d8 +5 piercing damage, and the target has disadvantage on the next attack roll it makes before the end of its next turn. Alright, so you can see here, this is a pretty compact, pretty easy to run stat block. And let's see real quick how many changes they have made since 2014. Alright, so honestly, not that many. The Ettin has gained a significant change though, and that is that it used to have a trait called two-headed, and it has since lost that trait. What that trait did, however, was give it advantage on saving throws against being blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, stunned, and knocked unconscious. It also granted them advantage on wisdom perception checks as well, so those have been removed. What they've done instead is they've given the Ettin immunity to those previous conditions, but unfortunately they no longer have advantage on perception checks. They did gain a gear section because they do have a battle axe and a morning star. And in the languages section, the old Ettin used to be able to speak giant and orc. That is no longer the case. Now they just speak giant. All right, and then here in the action section, there are actually a couple changes. So the multi-attack has not changed. They still have a battle axe and a morning star attack. What has changed is that both the battle axe and the morning star gained an additional effect that they did not previously have. For the battle axe, this is allowing the target to become prone if they're large or smaller. And then with the morning star, this is the target having disadvantage on the next attack roll for the end of its next turn. So very minor change here, but there are some technical improvements in the stat block. I think the best improvements here are going to be the immunity to all of those conditions, but the extra effects on the actual attacks will also make combat just a tiny bit more interesting with an Ettin. So kind of nice to see that there as well. Alright, so that's going to be it for this particular video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Next week we do have a little bit, or not next week, tomorrow, we do have a little bit more fun of a creature, so keep an eye out for that video. Until then, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.